I've created this video for my son and beginners who can wing foil but are having trouble jibing. These are my tips to successfully jibe, and there may be other techniques or schools out there that teach a different method, but I've put these together from my years of learning to windsurf jibe, then following by kiteboarding jibing, and then kite foiling jibing. When I transitioned to wing foiling, I then figured out how easy wing foiling can be if you use these techniques gathered from these other sports. The diagram is showing the wind coming from the west, and we are heading out on a north run going crosswind. We're going to get ready to jibe. We're looking for an area where there is maybe more wind. You can see the gusts on the water, so we're looking for something that has a little more wind and flat water if possible. Now you can start bearing off downwind, making sure that you have a good solid stance. Feet wider apart is more stable than feet close together, and knees bent is more stable than knees locked straight. As the board starts turning downwind, make sure you keep the speed up. Maximizing the amount of wind you have in your sail at this point is key to staying on foil. You'll need to release your backhand, and just before you release your backhand, what I do is I pull in with the backhand just to grab a bit more power from the wind. So you sheet in with that backhand and then let it go. And when you let it go, the back end, the clew, is going to swing around much quicker. Now, this is the most difficult part. You are no longer hanging on with the backhand, so you just have the front hand, and now you are no longer winging. You are just surf foiling, and this is a hard part to overcome because you no longer have the stability of the wing with both hands. You just have the front hand. It's very important that you do not try and turn quickly. You have to travel downwind, and you will be amazed how well the board will stay on foil without any power in the wing. Especially if you have a bigger beginner foil, it will stay on foil forever. So do not worry about turning around. Just keep going downwind, staying in control on foil, and then slowly you will come around. Not rushing the turn was the key. When I first started to jibe the foil, I realized how far the foil could stay on foil without power in the wing. So do not try and rush the turn, and do not worry about losing ground, because going back upwind with foil is easy. As the board slowly comes around, you can then grab on to that front handle with that backhand that you had previously released. So now you are hanging on to the front handle with both hands for a split second. Now your previous front hand is going to let go, and then relax and slowly grab the back handle. Once you grab that back handle with the other hand, your body is twisted. So it feels uncomfortable, but don't worry about it. Keep riding in this twisted position. We call this toe side. You have now just completed a full jibe while staying on foil. However, you are riding toe side, and I will show you how to switch feet later on in this video. This is Christian doing one of his first jibes. However, it's different than the diagram because the wind is blowing east, whereas the diagram is blowing west. Before you try a full jibe, it's best to try and do S turns where you're faking a jibe but not actually committing and going right around into the jibe. So you'll go into the same steps, however, you won't go into the part where you are turning around. This is Christian doing the S turns. He's turning downwind, and then he's turning back upwind, and I'm yelling at him to let go of the backhand when he goes downwind. So he's a little nervous about letting go of the backhand, but the technique is here. You go downwind, let go of the backhand, and then turn up and then grab on again. So you're going to go downwind, let go of the backhand, turn upwind, grab the wing. Keep doing this over and over again. Once you're feeling comfortable with the S-turns, you can then commit to a full jibe where you're going straight downwind and let go with the backhand. This is what it's going to look like. You go straight downwind, let go of that backhand, switch hands, and then slowly grab on with the backhand. More speed with a bigger foil will allow you to stay on foil longer without actually having to power the kite. As you're going into the turn, you need to remember that you are turning the board like a surfboard, so you need to lean on the rail to keep the board in turn. A more advanced skill is to use the wave as the ability to ride the wave and stay on foil longer, but that's not for beginners at this. Once you have carved the turn with one hand while on foil, rake the kite towards you, pull it towards you, and grab on with the back hand. Do not lean forward, bending over, and reach for the kite. Pull the kite towards you. When I'm turning and the kite, or the wing, whatever you want to call it, is not spinning, I hit it with the back hand and it will pivot around quickly. I found this push on the back is helpful when the winds are light and you have a bigger wing. Now, back to our diagram where we have completed the jibe while on foil and still on foil. And we are riding toe side, meaning our body is twisted and it's uncomfortable and we need to switch our feet. To switch your feet as a beginner, you're going to want to touch down, meaning come off foil. So you're going to put the weight on the front of the board and the board is going to come off of foil. Once it is off foil and you are just riding on the water, you can now switch your feet. Here it is. You are still on foil after the jibe. However, your body is twisted. The front foot stays in the front and the back comes forward. That keeps the board on the water. There will be a quick moment where both feet are up front. Immediately when the back foot comes to the front and touches the front foot swings back. You are off foil at this point, which is okay because you're faced in the right direction. You just power the kite up and get back on foil and on your way. As you advance, the touchdowns, when you switch your feet, will become shorter and shorter. So you can do this quicker to the point where you don't even need to touch down on the water, but you will still be moving the foot forward to create a dip in the board, and before it hits the water, it comes back up. So it's the same idea. You're going to switch your feet, the board starts to drop down and then comes back up. Here's one in slow motion where the board does not touch the water. So the back foot comes to the front foot now comes to the back, and the board never touches the water. In real time, as you progress, it will become quick. In slow motion, the back foot's going to come towards the front, the board is going to dip down, and the back foot comes back. In summary, we're riding crosswind, then bear off wind, squeeze out that last bit of power in the sail, then let go of the backhand. You are now coasting downwind on foil using only the front hand. Continue to angle and steer the board with your feet while using only one hand on the kite. Rake the kite towards you, then grab on with that backhand. Continue sailing forward while on foil and take your time. When ready, touch down, then switch your feet. Pump the wing and then you're back on foil. Good luck and see you on the water.